What is going on, guys? How's it going today? My name is Scapenomics, and welcome back to another flipping and money-making live stream. Guys, we're working with 2,100,000,000 GP today on the Grand Exchange. Can't wait to make some easy gains today. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the margins are good. Now, I do know that Steam is getting released, or sorry, Old School RuneScape is getting released to Steam today, so it's going to be interesting. Maybe we're going to have some fluctuating margins with more players coming online. Regardless of if they're returning players or not, very interested to investigate that. But regardless, guys, hopefully you're having a good day. Look at this mustache I have going on as well. A little bit more excessive than I usually get it, we'll put it that way. And we're going to take care of that after the stream, guaranteed. We have Han saying, hey, good to see you, Han. And Wintake as well popping in saying, hey, good to see both of you guys. We have A as well. He's saying, what's up, bro? Had some good margins today. Well, I hope I get the same exact margins. Now, I am really fatigued today. I know I say that a lot, but literally last night I got not a lot of sleep. I had to get up and take a COVID test today, early this morning. I'm good. I'm not sick or anything. I just need to get one for something related to work. So anyway, I'm all good. I'm ready to flip. I'm just super tired. So hopefully my commentary doesn't go too off the rails, but I feel like that is a common theme for my streams. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. Enough of that. I do want to try and get in on that twisted bow again today. Now, I did try to flip a twisted bow or two today while I was at work. Not at work, but I set the offers in, tried to get them to fill while I was working, and unfortunately, I didn't have any luck doing that, so we're going to cycle in to the twisted bow at a little bit higher of a price that I was flipping it earlier, and I do know that's sitting around the 1.1 bill mark, so we're going to flip it around there. The GE asking for flippers to take a COVID test now. Hey, exactly, man. You got to have the right regulations. I got to take the test, okay? Can't spread it to anyone. I mean, the Grand Exchange pretty packed, okay? People standing on top of each other. You've got to be safe out there. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the Primordial Boots going next. Now, we haven't had great margins on the Primordial Boots in a couple of streams here, so I'm hoping today maybe that does change for us. And it's actually not bad. 40k margin on the Primordial Boots. I'll definitely go ahead and take that. I do like flipping the Primordial Boots because they do have a higher limit than most other PVM-related items, right? You've got a limit of 15 on the Primordial Boots, which actually makes you a lot more money than you think on just one flip alone. So I do like flipping them a lot. Now, we have 772 million GP on hand. I do want to do the mahogany planks today. Now, the reason I've been trying to flip mahogany planks so much on these streams is I want to show you guys the power of high volume items. I get a lot of questions, especially recently within the Discord group, of people asking like, hey, why do you flip high volume items so much? Should I flip a little bit of bigger margin stuff with, you know, my 10 mil cash stack? And I want to show you guys that high volume items is really the way to go with smaller cash stacks, because first of all, if you're flipping with a smaller cash stack, for the most part, you're probably new to flipping. I mean, there are situations where larger players, or more advanced players with larger cash stacks do start flipping, and they have a little bit more money to start with, but for the most part, people are flipping with lower cash stack amounts, at least that come across my channel, right? Because I think they come across the content on YouTube, and they're trying to look for other money makers. Now, I just really want to stress the importance of high volume items and how much money they can make you in an hour period, a 2-hour period, or daily, and how safe they are to flip. It's a super important thing and a super important concept to understand as you are growing your flipping knowledge, that high volume items are easy to flip, they're quick to flip, and they can make you a fair bit of GP, and they should not be neglected. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and list some more items here, guys. I do want to do the Elder Malls again today. Now, we did have a little bit of luck with the Elder Malls about 2 streams ago. Did see a big pullback on the Elder Malls here, like yesterday and today, kind of like combined. So I think the margins on them might be relatively good, but doesn't really look like that's going to be the case in our situation here live. I'm going to go ahead and list 3 of them regardless, and try to cycle into something else like the crossbow. Larger players. Joe, I know, man. Sometimes my commentary just gets sloppy, especially when I'm super tired, so I do apologize. I will do my best to keep it accurate, and I always will loop back around and fix my commentary if I mess it up. We have Justice Tiger saying, hola, good to see you, Justice Tiger. Thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully you're having a great day, man. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you are enjoying it so far. And let me know, have you been flipping today, Justice? Have you made some gains today? Let me know what worked out for you, what was good. Maybe we can give it a look here on live stream today. Now, 651 million GP left to work with. That's interesting. I do want to try and get back in on that ancestral stuff here today. I want to make sure that when we're allocating these items into the Grand Exchange today, that we are using as much GP as possible, because I did notice last stream, we were not really deploying every single piece of cash that we had, and it's very important that you use every single piece of GP available so you can actually maximize your gains. So that's going to be a little bit more of my focus today, making sure we're deploying all that capital onto the Grand Exchange. And since we have 580 mil to split across 2 slots, I think it's a good opportunity for us to go check out the Pegasus Boots. Pegasus Boots are similar to the Primordial Boots. I actually tend to find that the Primordial Boots are a little bit more consistent of a flip, and the Pegasus Boots they take a little bit longer, but can have better margins. That's just a off-the-top observation. I mean, that's not a consistent thing all the time, just generally what I've observed. And in the last slot here, finally, we're going to flip the Dragon Hunter Lances. Now, the Dragon Hunter Lances are a very interesting item. Sometimes they're really great, sometimes they're really bad. If you're looking at like a 50k margin or less on the Dragon Hunter Lances, that's typically a pretty bad time to flip them. But if you're looking at 100k plus, definitely worth a flip. And in my opinion, they're right in between that right now, so we're going to go ahead and flip a few of those. Let's go ahead and try to get the limit. I think we can afford it. Unfortunately not. But we can get 6 of them going, which is perfect. Anyway, guys, hopefully you are enjoying the stream today. Drop a like if you are. Also, let me know what you're flipping with your cash stack, or if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack. These live streams are to... Oh, gosh, that's too much. These live streams are to help you guys learn how to flip in old school RuneScape, so if you are curious or have any questions about flipping, let me know. I'd love to walk you through the basic or some advanced tips. Whatever you want to know, I am here to teach you, so it is good to see you guys. We have I Am Ceboloco saying, Hola, good to see you, I Am Ceboloco. I haven't seen you in a couple streams, man. Good to see you back on track and tuning in on Twitch, man. We do appreciate it, and welcome to the stream. Count says, it's a good day to get that bread. Count, man, good to see you back for another live stream. Hopefully you can pick up a few additional flipping tips and tricks today. Oh my god, my brain, man, it's not working. Trio Zero says, I was running errands, so I did some birdhouse runs and flipped some cannonballs. Got a 7 GP margin on those. That's actually pretty good for cannonballs, considering they are a pretty high volume item. So, hey, I would definitely take 7 GP on cannonballs. Evil JG says, GME to the moon. What happened to that man today? Crazy what happened to it. I definitely did not expect that myself, but for anyone that has shares, I mean, good for you, man. Sitting back, kicking back, live on the Grand Exchange, guys. We'll see if we can get some good margins moving today. Like I said earlier in the stream, really would like to get this Twisted Bow moving. We have to play patiently today, I think. But every time I play it too patiently, we never get it flipped at a decent speed, right? So maybe we'll be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, I think it's better if we try to push the margin in the beginning of the stream, right? Because if we can get that margin as quickly as possible, we can flip it as many times as we need to actually make up for any potential loss that we might have. But regardless, we did get the Elder Malls off really quick, so I'm happy about that. It wasn't really a good flip for us at all. Only 24k made from flipping 3 of them, and that includes the margin check costs that we did have to pay. So mixed results on that so far. I do want to cycle back in with the Dragon Dart Tips. I do think the Dragon Dart Tips, oh my god, these things freaking rocketed in price since the last live stream. I'm pretty sure we flipped these on the last stream for like, wait, something's a little fishy here. I'm a little bit suspect of these, so I'm only going to go in for 5,000 at the current moment. It looks like these Dragon Dart Tips shot up in price, and I'm not too convinced that this is a legitimate margin. But anyway, we have Vaughn giving us a follow over on Twitch. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you for tuning in today as well. Hopefully you are doing well. Let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything flipping related in old school RuneScape. I'll be sure to help you out. Good to see everybody pulling into the stream today, and oh my gosh, everyone popping in. We have XY saying, what's going on with the coal prices? They dropped for no reason. XY, honestly, I have no idea. Sometimes market movements are random like that in the game, and sometimes there's no reason behind them. I mean, I think a lot of players, they like to try to find a reason on why an item is moving, and sometimes you're either never going to find out the reason or there is no reason. Simple as that. I sold my shares today. I'm green. Amazing, Stefan, man. Hopefully you made some good profits on that. We also have Joe saying, on average, what do you think you make an hour flipping? Average, like, if I'm trying pretty hard, like 4.5 to 5 mil an hour. On a good market day, like 7 to 8 mil an hour, and on a bad day, maybe like 3 mil. My live stream performance is a lot worse because I usually don't hunt as many big margin items on stream. Although recently I've actually tried to change that stigma a little bit, and as you can see, I do have the Twisted Bow listed. So maybe we can get a couple of those flipped, increase our profit per hour, and we'll see how we end up there. But I mean, off stream, like I would flip the Twisted Bow, the Scythe, some Inquisitor probably. If those items weren't working out, I'd kind of hedge those bets with some, you know, higher end PVM stuff as well, right? Grazi, Sanguesti, Primordial Boots, Pegasus Boots, Dragon Hunter gear as well. And that's how I would kind of increase my profit per hour. I like to use other flips as a way to make money when I'm trying to get my bigger flips pushed through, right? So whether it's high volume stuff for really easy profit, and that is a strategy that I recommend you guys do as well. Couple like higher volume, or sorry, couple higher margin items, and then you come in with those higher volume items as well. Just trade them for super simple profit, make a quick buck. And I'm a little bit skeptical about these Dragon Dart Tips, guys. We're going to cycle back out of those. You know, I'm really suspect of them because last live stream, we traded these for like 400 GP less than where they currently are. And that was like not that long ago at all. We could be in a pump right now. We'll have to see here. Hopefully we can get out of it without taking too much DPS on the cash stack, okay? Anyway. Would you do the Inquisitor skirt? Yeah, I could do the Inquisitor skirt. Good to see you as well, Benny. Thank you for tuning in today. And we also have Vaughn asking, what do I flip with 17 million GP? So if you're flipping with 17 million GP, and we kind of touched on this earlier in the stream, you want to focus on high volume items only. So blood runes, death runes, law runes, nature runes, house teleports are really good, air orbs, adamant darts, rune darts are a great choice as well. Battle staves are really good. The reason you want to focus on items that are traded very frequently or are considered high volume items is because they're going to trade very quickly and they're going to make you a quick bit of cash and very safely as well. Anything that has really high trading volume is usually a lot safer to flip than something with low trading volume, because if a price fluctuates on a low volume item, the price is going to fluctuate massively and you could win or lose a lot of money. But if you're doing a high volume item, something that's very consistent, even these mahogany planks right here are a great example of that. It's something that's traded very frequently and is a very consistent margin that you can just flip for an easy profit. So anyway, we'll see how much we can make on these today and how easy it'll be. But we do have a bunch of them bought up here, and we're actually looking at over a 10 GP margin on those mahogany planks. So it would be good if we could actually hit that. We have Saints Fan in a van saying, what's up? Good to see you, Saints Fan in a van. Thank you for tuning in today. And hopefully you are enjoying the stream, man. Welcome to it. Count coming in with the ogre face there. Like it, man. We have SCW Benny saying, got my first drop at Barrows today, and I'm up to 13 mil now. Let's give a round of applause to Benny. I think he recently got hacked as well, so huge comeback on the cash stack, man. Congrats to you. Get back in the game. Get back to flipping. Hey, 100 mil soon, I'm telling you, man. Boris King, good to see you, Boris. He says, do you ever flip 2 T-bows or scythes at once? I find it easier to track if the price is going up or down that way. So yes, I do. And you have a great point about the price being easier to track, right? Because if let's say I have 2 Twisted Bows listed and they both fill quickly, then I can assume that the item might be coming down in price. And obviously that's a very risky situation. That's actually a strategy that I use on Inquisitor a lot, especially the Inquisitor Great Helms, right? So I'll list like 3 or 4 Inquisitor Great Helms, and then if 2 of them buy like pretty quickly, I'll cancel the offer and list my next 2 a lot lower. That way, if an item is coming down in price, I can actually catch it at a cheaper price and average back in at a cheaper cost and make potentially more profit than I would have with only that one offer, right? So that is a strategy I do use. It's not something I use on stream because I don't like to take up 2 slots. And since our focus on stream is really to trade like items a lot quicker than chasing those high margin items, that kind of strategy just doesn't really fit in as much. But I usually never do that on Twisted Bows. I do it on things that are a little bit cheaper. You know, like a scythe, I would do it on a scythe, but probably not a Twisted Bow. Anyway, hopefully that does help you out, man, and gives you a little insight into how I handle those situations. But if you do it with scythes or Twisted Bows, if you have enough money, then it's definitely a good strategy. Now, we did get those mahogany planks off. We only flipped half of the quantity. The quantity on those is 13,000 every 4 hours. So we made 77k flipping those. Currently our best flip so far, surprisingly. So very happy about that. Now, I do want to actually try out the Din's Bulwark today because I really haven't flipped the Din's Bulwark in a while. And I'm kind of curious what the margins are looking like on these things today. I mean, honestly, I haven't touched these since they got nerfed. I don't know if they're really a good flip. I used to flip these a lot, but ever since Spore came into the game, they haven't really been as good for me, and it doesn't look like the margin's too great on them today, but we will go ahead and flip them. Now, we do have the Primordial Boots that just filled as well. Really happy to see that because we have struggled the past few streams, actually, getting a full limit of Primordial Boots bought. We only have half the limit, but like actually getting any significant amount without having to adjust the price, so very happy about that. We still have 168 million GP on hand to deploy on the Grand Exchange, and I'd actually like to do the Carol's Leather Top next. Now, the Carol's Leather Tops are coming down a lot in price. I think kind of the equipment balancing nerfs have kind of like started to die off in hype a little bit, as people thought the Carol's might be better in the future state than it currently would be with all the changes being made to other items. Anyway, not a great margin on that one though, so we're going to avoid that. I'm actually going to do the Dragon Warhammer in place of that. Don't want to forget about doing the Dragon Warhammer today, as it's such a good flip as well. And this thing is kind of in the same boat. It's come down a lot in price recently just because of the hype dying off for those equipment rebalancing nerfs. And we're going to go in on those at a pretty decent margin here today, looking to clear about 70k on those each. Which is actually not that great, but it is definitely good enough for us today, as we haven't found anything, I would say, insane to flip. We also got the lances as well, which took about 10 minutes to fill out completely, which is actually a good sign. If a flip takes a while to fill, usually like longer than usual, that is, usually means the price is going up, right? So we'll go ahead and check that out here in a minute. I'm hoping we can sell them back for a good profit today, boys. Keep our fingers crossed on that. Hopefully get a solid lance flip in. That would mean a lot to me, considering we have had not the best luck with the lances these past couple of streams. I always feel like I'm saying like, hey, last stream this item sucked, and I always say that, but it is true. I mean, if an item was good, then I will tell you it was good last time that we flipped it. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. I hope you are enjoying the stream. Hopefully, if you have any questions about flipping or money making in old school RuneScape, you'll feel free to ask them. I'd love to help you guys out. And yeah, if you're watching us over on YouTube, be sure to drop a like. If you're watching us over on Twitch, be sure to drop us a follow. Or hey, if you got a Prime laying around, hey, I'll take that too. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Seriously, it means a lot. Let's make some gains today, man. I really want to get this Twisted Bow going, as we've had such tough luck on these high margin items these past few streams. So actually, last stream though, we did really good on this Twisted Bow. It made us like 3.7 mil if I remember correctly. So I'm going to keep inching the price up on that until we are able to get one. And like I said, we're going to be a little bit more aggressive on the Twisted Bow today. The reason that is because I want to get one flipping. That's it, man. Saints Fan in advance says, enjoying the stream, but you often say my name wrong. There's no A in my username. Saints Fan in van. Sorry, man. It's just like, it's Saints Fan in van, like the name. I want to put an A in it. I don't know why. I do apologize, Saints. I'm just going to call you Saints from now on. How's that sound? Is that good? Anyway. I love your content, so I'll forgive you. Okay, thank you, Saint, man. Lewinteg says, do you ever catch it for... hold on. You ever catch it for to have to sell back at the same price twice? Yes, Lewinteg, if an item crashes on you and you have to like sell it back at the same price and try to get it off and get out of a dangerous situation, yes, that does happen to me occasionally. It's not a fun situation to be in because, one, you're wasting the limit on the item, right? And you have to wait 4 hours to do more of them. And two, you never want to be holding items in a downtrend, especially expensive ones like a Twisted Bow or a Scythe. So those are definitely risky situations that I do not like to be in. Although, that being said, if you get into those situations, you do know how, like, you have to know how to manage them, right? You have to know what to do. You have to not freak out about these things and just be very, very calm in the way that you sell these items back. It's not an easy thing. I mean, if an item is crashing and you have one and you're having trouble getting it off, it is like a panic situation 99% of the time. But a lot of the times, if you have a couple hours, the thing will swing back in your direction, as long as it's not a, you know, kind of like an off-the-cliff drop. I mean, we've all had those as well. How did you deal with the snow days last week? I didn't have any snow days, so I did fine. Jared Guzman saying hello. Good to see you, Jared, man. Thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully you are enjoying the stream. Let me know, man. What's your bank worth? Joe, we recently just passed max cash. So it's probably like 2.5 bill is my bank, I'd say. We have Ramita saying, oh gosh, hold on. Let me find your comment here. He says, oh, Ramita says, what are your thoughts on r/Grand Exchange bets? And he also says, and hello, man. Hope you are having a great night. Is Grand Exchange bets Wall Street bets? Or is it like a RuneScape version of that? Anyway, I don't know. I haven't really seen it. So anyway. Saints fan in Van says, Van is just short for Vancouver, where I'm from, but yes, Saints works for me as well. Okay, perfect. I'll probably call you a mix of them, and I'll probably mess up your name again, then. Vaughn says, do you think the blowpipe price will drop once the nerfs hit, or has the hype passed? It's really hard to tell, because with a blowpipe, the supply is really high, so even if the blowpipe becomes, like, not used as much, I mean, yeah, it'll probably drop, I'd say. But it's honestly, it's almost impossible to tell, so I don't try to spend my time speculating on things. My favorite way to invest is look at future updates, see what might be affected from those future updates, and invest in those items. It's the same reason I make those videos, you know, when we're talking about, you know, the Dragon Harpoons or the Pharaoh Scepters and things like that. My analysis is always driven by updates, okay? Because updates is where the true hype comes from and the true opportunities are. If something in-game is going to change the supply of an item, or it's going to have an effect, I mean, if it changes the supply of an item, then it's going to have an effect on the price, like 99.9% of the time, unless like demand like supersedes it or is equal to it. Not supersedes, is literally equal to the supply, but that never happens. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here, but any investments I do, this is very important, and I actually have a video coming out on this. So here's some Scapenomics knowledge, big brain stuff, okay? I used to invest based on value in RuneScape, right? Something's really cheap, you want to go put money at it because it's super cheap, and of course, it's not going to go lower, right? Now, the problem with that philosophy is every time you think something's not going to go lower, it still can go lower. I mean, for example, look at the Grazi Rapier, right? We haven't seen a price beneath 130 mil in quite some time, yet the other day, the thing's trading at like 129 mil. So, even though it looks good at 130 mil, it could fall to 129 mil. Who says it can't fall to 125 mil or 100 mil? We really have no idea how low the item's going to go. So I completely cut out that philosophy from my investment, you know, strategy. From now on, all I do is if there's an update that's coming out that's going to have some big effect, I read the update, I analyze it, and I say, what item in this update is going to change? Or if it's not going to change, then what item or like what changes from this update might affect one item that will have an adverse effect on another item. You have to think like 2 steps ahead of what you think is going to happen as far as investments go. But this is like, if you're, you know, if you're considering investments in old school RuneScape, I mean, your bank has to be quite large. Even I struggle to put a lot of capital towards investments, and I have 2.5 bills. So, I mean, I would be very careful in the way that you go about investing in old school RuneScape, and I would not recommend it with anything less than 1 billion GP, legitimately. You could, but it's just going to be a waste of your capital. You could probably make more active flipping, and it's very important to understand active flipping before you even move on to passive investing, or overnights, or investments. Like, investments is like the highest tier, guys. And I know so many of you want to, like, in our Discord group and everything, you guys all want to get into investments, and I get it, man. Because who wouldn't want to buy an item, right? Go play the game for 2 months, come back, and sell it for a huge profit. Like, of course everyone wants to do that, but it's just, unfortunately, not that simple. Anyway, I have a whole video. I have a script written for it and everything that talks about investments and the mistakes that I see a lot of you guys in the Discord group making regarding the investments, right? So we're going to get that all covered for you guys. We're going to get all the questions ironed out. We'll have a more detailed answer for that. That's like a lot more thought out and straightforward. Anyway, enough of that rant. Good to see everybody here today. And thank you guys for tuning in. Now we have Jer saying, hi, bro. Good to see you, Jer, man. Thank you for tuning in. We also have Jay Hefner tuning in as well. He says, so when are you going to do those beer reviews when you drink 12? where you drink 12, excuse me. Probably on the marathon streams where we do like flipping for 6 hours plus, like we did that one time, which we'll probably have another one of those soon. Although next week, I'm not going to be able to stream, guys, which is really sucks, but I have to travel for work, so like I don't have my computer with me, so it's gonna be another week off streaming. I do apologize, but I will get a video out for you guys, regardless of what it is. I'll try to get one out, so at least you guys have something to see. And I'll talk to you guys on Discord, of course. Ice says, meanwhile, PK streamers drop their billions and earn them from scratch for fun. You know, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, my hashtag is like my progress of flipping. You know, I started this channel with 9 million GP way back, and here we are. Oh gosh, all those Furies just bought. That's kind of interesting. We'll have to see what happens there. My cash stack is kind of like my progress, right? So I'm not saying I came up on max cash quickly. I definitely didn't. It definitely took me a long time, but now, like, just working through all the flipping and all these strategies, I feel like I have a much better understanding of how the Grand Exchange works, how to find good opportunities, and I really feel like that's just because I've spent so many hours flipping and really gone through, I've literally gone through every single cash stack amount that you could flip with, basically. The only thing I'm missing is like the very highest tier of like 10 bill flipping. That's really it. And if I want to get to that point, I'm going to, one, either have to flip more, or two, I can just ask some of my Discord members to help me out. I mean, we've done streams in the past where we flipped with max cash, where we flipped with like 3 billion GP, and those were all from generous people in the Discord who helped me out on those. But regardless, we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about the flips, and we have 460 mil to put into the Grand Exchange. So what I think I'm going to do is the Ancestral Robe Top. Now, I do like flipping the Ancestral Robe Top and the Robe Bottom. I think they're really good flips. And right now, they are actually crashing pretty aggressively. Now, regardless of an item, if it's crashing or it's going up a lot in price, anytime there's a lot of volatility or a lot of price swings in an item, that makes it a good flip, regardless of the direction. The reason that is because margins stretch out a lot, because there's a lot of trades going on, and there's a lot of price uncertainty on, there's like higher volume on items which usually have lower volumes, which kind of makes things uncertain, makes a lot of trades going in and out, and makes for good flipping. But I think a lot of you know that. But we did finish up on those Dragon Hunter Lances as well. 335k secured on the Lances today, making it the best flip of the day so far. And still no luck on the Twisted Bow. We're going to knock that up again. Hopefully we can get one traded today, man. I mean, I feel like this is the problem every stream. We cannot get the margin on the Twisted Bow. Now, we could instant buy it and just go from there, but I really don't want to do that, as I really think that's a bad mentality to have with flipping. Is just instant buying items that are really expensive and trying to selling it back. It's better if you can guess where the price might be instead of actually, you know, paying for that, immediate sell offer. Whew, a lot of comments here today. So what jumps out to you about this new free-to-play area coming out? I haven't even looked at this free-to-play area. What free-to-play area? I haven't even heard about it. Because, see, the only updates I care about are the ones that are going to affect prices. That's literally it. I know that's kind of sad, but hey. Flipping in RuneScape is what I enjoy the most. I mean, that's why I play the game, is to flip, which I know to some of you sounds ridiculous, but that really is why I play. You can ask anyone who's been viewing the channel for a while. Ask them if they've ever seen anything besides flipping, and they're probably going to say no. Regardless, let's go ahead and try to flip some of these Dragon Claws here, guys. Let's see, a lot of comments coming in. Mies says, hi man, tapping in for another one of your streams really quick to drop a like. Heading to bed now. Have a good evening. Thank you, Mies, man. Do appreciate it. And thank you for dropping a like, man. Seriously. Helps me out a lot. Every single like gets my content up there with some other great content creators on the old school RuneScape community. And it just means a lot, man, because I do put a lot of effort into these streams and the videos, and it's just good when you get a little bit back for it. You know what I mean? STW Benny says, Barrows teleports have a 50 GP margin for anyone trying to make some profit with under 10 million GP. Barrows teleports are also a little bit risky of a flip. They are not the most high volume items, so just keep that in mind. And they're quite competitive. I've tried to flip them in the past. They're not the easiest. We also have Justice Tiger. He's asking, hey Scape, I was watching something about how to make a bond in 24 hours, which I ended up profiting off Nails. Do you think Nails is a good high volume flip? You know, I think it's a decent one. I don't think it's the best one, but it is something you could put in your arsenal for sure. It wouldn't be something that's on my high volume list personally, but I don't think it's a bad option. Lowinteg says, want to hear something sad that I realized yesterday? I'm 25.1 million mining XP on my skiller and still no golem. Wow, that is freaking sad, man. Hey, I have no pets in old school RuneScape. I've tried. I have decent Vorkath KC, not nearly enough to get the pet chance, but like, hey, I'm just saying, for how long I've played old school RuneScape and actually played the game and done skilling, like, I should have a decent shot at a pet by now, at least a 50-50, and unfortunately, I'm not there. So, F's in the chat for that, and I had a cat, but it ran away, so, yeah, about that one. We don't talk about that. Let's see, we have Count. He's asking, after what cash tag would it be okay to start flipping less volume items? You could start to experiment around 30 mil would be my recommendation, but 50 mil is probably best. It's somewhere below Ice Mountain in free-to-play. What's the update have? The free-to-play update? What's it include? Probably a new monster, right? Maybe a new ice boss. That sounds pretty likely for me, man. I've seen some Vort kills. They're rough, dude. Let me tell you that. My PVM skills are not up to par. We'll put it that way. We have Chicken Dinner. He says, was good to see Temporos in the live stream from OSRS today. Sad news about being AWOL next week. I know, Chicken, man. I can't help it. Like, when my real life job comes into play, like, as much as I want to keep doing streams and stuff like that and not have to do these things, you know, I got to make a living somehow, right? So, anyway, it is what it is. These Dragon Dart tips are going to burn us, guaranteed. We're going to get out of them right now. It's probably going to be a pretty big loss if I had to guess. Yeah, what was that? About 100K? Like, see, 200K. Like I expected. Why do I do these things, man? I literally said we're in a pump and dump right now, and I still bought into it, and we lost money on it. My brain, man. I guess I just like to like test those situations out and see if they work. I think it makes for good content to see not all wins all the time, right? You need to show some of the losses as well. And that was a situation where I identified I shouldn't have flipped the item, and I still flipped it anyway. I actually do that a lot. I'm pretty dumb that way. I notice like bad situations, and then I still try to do them anyway. So that is something I definitely don't recommend you do as well. If you see something fishy, you probably should avoid it. It's probably the best way to do it. Although sometimes those big margins, they suck you in. Now, let's do the Amulet of Torture next. That's going to make up for our loss on those Dragon Dart tips, hopefully. And the Amulet of Torture, super quick flip, super easy flip as well. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple of those. Now, it doesn't have a great margin here today, but it's still definitely worth flipping. We're a little bit over 10K margins on these right now. So I'm going to go ahead and list the limit here and see how it does. Saints Fan Invan says, is that the same facial hair I see? Okay, I'm gonna shave it today, okay? Give me a break, okay? The problem is, guys, this is like a week's worth of growth, okay? So stop bullying me, okay? I know. Anyway. They're kind of trying for a free-to-play Forthos dungeon. Ooh, interesting. And we have Tasty OSRS popping in as well. Good to see you, Tasty, man. I loved your live stream the other night with the Chambers of Xerix, but I got to be honest, I didn't stay that long. Necklace of Anguish we're going to do next, guys. We'll see if we get a good margin on those. I'm freaking exhausted today. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm, like, sweating right now. Like, I don't know what is up with me. I got like 0 sleep last night. I was thinking about flipping so much I couldn't fall asleep. So many profits to be made. You know what I mean? That's not what I was thinking about. But hey, sometimes I do think about my overnights when I go to sleep, which is probably pretty loserish. But I'm like, I wonder if that is gonna hit overnight. Maybe I should adjust it. And then I fall asleep. Chambers of Xerix. I like it, dude. Because here's the thing: is like, I am not good at PVM, so I like watching people do, like, harder PVM content. And not even that Chambers of Xerix is really considered hard PVM content, but for me, like, that's top tier. I mean, I think my Chambers of Xerix KC is, like, 6 or 7. It's not very high. And we're going to list these Amulets of Torture back for a little bit of a margin here. I think we were, like, 18K on those, so nothing crazy, but nothing terrible as well. I'm a little bit nervous on this Twisted Bow, and the reason that is because I was trying to flip the Twisted Bow for a lot less earlier today, and now it's like 5 mil above where it was. So yes, this thing might be skyrocketing in price, but it also could come down on us at any moment. So I will keep cycling back in to try to get one flipped, because we got to do it for the content, right? And we really need that to help our profit per hour, because right now we're 34 minutes in, 330k off after that loss, which is just really, really bad. So I'm hoping we can turn it around a little bit here. Ice says, could you explain what the main reason of an item's price crash would be? Because it gets sold very often in big amounts. That could be it. Also, there's situations where people on the Grand Exchange are holding a lot of supply on an item, or maybe a bot has a lot of an item. It really depends on the item itself. There's a larger fish in the sea, okay? Like, you might think I have a lot of money flipping with, 2 bill, 2.5 bill, whatever it is. There are people who are way, way richer than I am that have a lot more influence on the market, right? People with 10 billion GP or people with 100 billion GP. And if you think 100 bill is too much, trust me, there are people out there with that much who have a lot more influence over these items. So just imagine someone with that much money, selling 20 Twisted Bows on the Grand Exchange trying to get out of the position. It's going to be quite a big downward movement. Keep up the stash scape? No, dude, it's so ugly, man. I've never really been successful with facial hair in my life. I'll put it that way. Max cash and a stash, RSGF guaranteed. People with 100 bill is staking and real world trading, LOL, not flipping usually. See, that's what you think, but I promise you, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that you probably are unaware of. Because here's the thing is, like, I'm not even gonna get into it, to be honest. It's just too much. Which makes it worthless. Ice, it doesn't make it worthless. It just means that if there's so much supply coming onto the Grand Exchange in a short amount of time, and the demand does not fill it up, the item price will come down. And when it's something that's really expensive, it tends to have a bigger effect because the margins are larger, and it's just not in demand as much, and you have more influence the more of that high margin item that you have. And it just makes for not a great situation. And if those 20 Twisted Bows get sold, some other people that might be flipping the Twisted Bow might think the Twisted Bow's crashing, and then they sell their Twisted Bows, and it's kind of a downward spiral. Regardless, though, we did get a Twisted Bow, which is a great sign. I would like to go ahead and list this back. Hopefully, we can flip it for a decent profit here. Not sure if we're going to be able to. I mean, we bought it for what I conceive to be a pretty high price, so we'll see. Hopefully, it is trending upwards. I mean, it bought for like 6 mil over where I had it listed earlier today, so hey, we'll have to see what happens. Fat Lost Media says, my son, good to see you, Lost Media, man. Thank you for tuning in, bro. I haven't seen you in a minute, so thank you for stopping by. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream, be sure to drop a like. Really does help me out a lot. We have 108 mil on hand. What are we going to flip next? Whatever we're flipping, like, it's been such a weird day, profit-wise, man. I think I'm too distracted. I feel too distracted today. We also have some positions that aren't really doing much. I should have adjusted those. I kind of got carried away in the... What? Dude, what? What? Wait. Yo, this might be flipping history right here. Wait, did anyone see that? What the... Yo, I freaking hate when that happens, man. Hey, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. We'll try to get back in on it. I mean, I don't have a lot of confidence in that at all. I think we just got unlucky with it, to be quite honest. But, hey, we'll have to see what happens on that one. Hopefully, they actually buy and sell and don't get cut. Yeah, that could happen too. We could get cut, but that's going to put us 1.6 mil in the hole. So, bad flipper, man. Very bad flipper. Also, let's adjust the Dragon Warhammers. We got to have a little bit of faith in those Armadillo chain skirts. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not really having a lot of confidence in them. I doubt they're going to work out for us. That being said, that's just an unlucky situation. So I guess margins are really not working in our favor today, guys. But hey, I mean, sometimes it be like that. You know what I mean? Of course, on like the day where I'm like the most fatigued, I can't get anything going here. And now we have a horrible situation on the chain skirts. I mean, it knocked off all of our profits. Is like, I've never seen that on the chain skirts. I mean, I have seen large margins on the chain skirts before, but not like margins like that, I'll tell you that. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice the ancestral hats. 30 minutes. Wow. Okay, we have to move some stuff around. The problem is I get so caught up in the conversation that I'm just having such a great time talking to you guys, and then I don't adjust my items. That's why flipping on 2 accounts is such a struggle for me. Anyway, let's get this session back on track, guys. We got to make some money here today, and I definitely don't want to walk away with a loss on the session. Now, the Twisted Bow could be the savior. Will it save us today, guys? What do you think in the chat? I mean, so far we haven't gotten one Twisted Bow off, so it's going to be kind of hard to rely on them for profit. That being said, it still might work out for us. Now we'll go ahead and put these Dragon Claws in. Let's see, we'll put it... I'm just trying to, like, see, like, on the exchange, what do I need to adjust, or, like, what can I leave? I mean, I think these Necklaces of Anguish, we probably should sell these back, considering they're not really looking too good today. I thought they'd sell a little bit quicker, but that's fine. Ice says, so if I understood you correctly, if someone dumps a big amount of items onto the Grand Exchange, but no one buys them, that causes the price to come down. Sorry, my English is not my native tongue. That's okay. Basically, yes, that's true. If there's more supply, like, for example, if there's 20 Twisted Bows getting sold onto the Grand Exchange, but there's only 3 offers for the Twisted Bow at, you know, its average price, then the extra 17 Twisted Bows are going to get sold for lower than average price, which will usually cause the item price to come down, right? Because those offers actually filling at that low price means that people can buy it for that price, and the margin's going to shift down. It's kind of hard to explain. You know, that would be a good video too, kind of understanding how items move on the Grand Exchange over longer periods of time, maybe not just in the immediate, you know, moment, if perhaps, but anyway. People on RS hoard a lot of items though. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Have to call it early today. Will you be streaming on Friday, Saturday? Jay will be Friday, will be live. Saturday, I don't think we're going to be live. Hopefully that stays true. But of course, I'll let you guys know on Discord as well. And we got the Twisted Bow off. That is going to be the savior today, guys. I'm telling you right now, if we can get this Twisted Bow going, it's going to be the savior. Savior, either way, man. Come on, Twisted Bow, man. The Twisted Bow's got to take us out of this huge margin check that we did. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a margin check like that on any of the Armadillo pieces before. That honestly was just a really unlucky situation. You know, the Armadillo chain skirt is an item that I would personally margin check myself in a normal session. I know I recommend sometimes that you shouldn't margin check an item because, you know, it's too low volume, that you shouldn't margin check it because you're going to lose too much money. But Armadillo chain skirts, I mean, that should be an item that's fine to margin check. So it's interesting to see it have such a large margin today and not flip for us. Do the Ellie? Oh, dude, I never flip the Ellie. We could actually do that. Let me see where the price is. I don't know if I have enough money on hand to actually do the Elysian. That's the problem. I'll at least give it a look. We'll see where it is. Ooh, could be interesting flipping that thing. It won't be easy, though. Gonna knock this Twisted Bow up just a little bit to stay competitive on my offer here, guys. We got a chain skirt. We got one. Oh, dude. Could it be? Now, we're not going to make the full margin on that chain skirt if we sell it here, but if we can sell it, we're going to be in a good spot. Matt says, my 2 T-Bows just sold 1106.5. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I sold mine for a different amount, so surprising. 208 Mill, I'm just going to call you, says, do you overnight flip big items? Yes, sometimes. Not all the time. Items that I like to flip overnight usually are not things like Twisted Bow or Scythes, because while you can make a lot of money on them, they're hard to predict, because they have some nights where they don't move a lot in price and other nights where they fluctuate greatly. So I'm someone who likes to flip items like Ceridome and God Swords or Ancestral Pieces overnight, because one, I can spread my cash stack across multiple items, and two, I just find them easier to predict where the price is going and a little bit more consistent than some of these huge margin items. Although you could probably make more on these like larger margin items if I had to guess. It's just not as easy for me or consistent. Jay looks like he's heading out. He says, all right, see you Friday. If not, good luck next week. See you later, Jay, man. Thank you for tuning in. And guys, we have 691 mil on hand. Let's get that working for us. Let's we'll try to investigate the Kodai one today. Maybe we'll get a good margin on it. Not sure, honestly. We'll have to take a look. Not really that good, unfortunately. 421 mil. We'll do the Ancestral Robe bottom, like I said I would. Every time I flip the robe top, I go back and flip the bottom as well. You might as well do both, right? Now that's what I'm looking for right there, okay? That is a solid margin that I'm actually not afraid to go ahead and flip. That looks pretty standard for me for an Ancestral Robe bottom margin. So we'll see if that actually is going to work out for us today. But guys, how are you enjoying the stream? Are you having a good time? Let me know. If you guys have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping today, please do let me know. I'm here to answer your questions live. That is why we do these streams. Oh my goodness, the chain skirt actually sold, man. That just knocked us out of a huge deficit. Like I was saying before, it's not like we actually made like a huge margin on that Armadillo chain skirt. Like not as big as the one that we checked, but that being said, that really helped us out a lot because we paid a lot in a margin check for that. So I'm actually going to cycle back in a little bit higher on the chain skirt, see if we can possibly get another one going. I mean, it would be good to see if we could. I says, but an item's price will stay the same if it continues to sell and buy at the same price, right? Yeah, I mean, of course, if an item is buying and selling at the same price, then it's not crashing. Crashing is like, you know, an item price is coming down in price because people are not buying it at at the level. So let's say you're trading something for like 1 bill GP and then a ton of supply comes out in the Grand Exchange and there's like, people think like, oh, well now there's 20 Twisted Bows here. I don't need to buy them for 1 bill because there's so many, I can buy one for 990 mil. It's things like that. It's hard to explain, but yeah, if an item price is staying the same, then it's not crashing. Evoke says, hey, mate, rough day for profits. I mean, it hasn't been amazing. I'll put it that way. We paid a huge margin check on the the Armadillo chain skirt. Like, unexpected, huge margin out of nowhere. We are trying to turn the session around a little bit here, though. And I'm hoping that's going to actually work out for us today, especially with these Ancestral pieces. I mean, the robe bottoms are actually looking pretty good, and I'm happy we're starting to get the hats off as well. It's a good sign. But yeah, we actually have had some trouble today for sure. A lot of stale items at first, nothing really moving, and now here we are, a couple mil down later, and we'll see what we can do. I'm also very tired today, guys. Every time I'm tired, my commentary is just so bad, so I do apologize if the commentary is a little bit rough today. I am doing my best to push through. Now, we do have 273 mil on hand. Still no luck on the crossbow, which is just so unfortunate, guys. It's like, I don't know what it is. I feel like something's off with the streams. I mean, every time we go to stream, it's like we can't get any items moving, regardless. Sly Ninja says, oh, this is a great question that we do get occasionally. And Sly Ninja says, is it better to flip during busy hours or slow hours? So, Sly, there's kind of two perspectives on this, right? So if you're flipping during a popular time, your margins are going to be smaller, but there's more trades because there's more players. So your flips are going to be faster. So you're going to have smaller margins, but faster flips. Now, if you're flipping during an off-peak time when there's not as many players, you're going to have larger margins, but slower flips, and also less competition. So personally, my preference is do flipping during times where things are really slow because you just get huge margins on items. But I do know players who prefer the quicker trades so they can cycle through more items. I mean, that is perfectly fine as well. It's just really up to your personal preference. We did the Necklace of Anguish and the Amulet of Torture, so we do have 273 mil on hand, though. I do think I want to do those Zamaraki and Hostas. We did do these last stream, and they only made us like a 20k profit each. Hoping for a little bit better here today. We got a good question coming in from Saint here. Also, the Zamaraki and Hostas still have about a 20k margin, so we'll go ahead and flip those as well. Now, Saints fan in Van says, this might be a bit subjective, excuse me, but I wanted your opinion. Does the opportunity cost of buying bonds with GP outweigh the benefit of paying for membership in real life money with about a 700 mil bank? Here's the way I look at it. If you're an avid player of the game and you don't want your gameplay experience to be affected by... Let me think of a good way to say it. If you don't want your gameplay experience to be affected by like an external factor like membership, where people can pay for real money for a benefit in game, then I would just pay with real dollars. But if you think that you can easily afford a bond and it's not that much more effort for you and you feel like it's not forcing you to play the game, then yeah, buy bonds. I mean, I buy bonds because all I do is flipping really and making money. So like buying a bond to me is not a big deal. It's like kind of half the battle. And I don't mind doing it because all my activities are money-making related. It's why I play the game. And it doesn't bother me that much. But if it's impacting your gameplay experience, like you're feeling like you have to log on to make money so you can pay for the next bond, like if that's the case, then I would pay with real dollars, especially if you're in a good enough financial position to where you can actually afford the membership in real life without too much financial stress. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense, Saint, and hopefully that gives you my insight into that situation. We also have Evoke saying, I lost like 6 million GP, ooh, on Zulratellis, so it ain't been too flash for me either. Yeah, that's tough, man. The problem with those teleport scrolls, right, that I see a lot is, yes, they can be super profitable, but they can also be super not profitable. They're a little bit lower volume of an item than a lot of the, the higher volume stuff on the exchange, right, or like a gear-related item. And people can buy a ton of supply on that stuff, so you have to be very careful when you're flipping those things. We have, I says I agree with the membership situation. Yeah, this is literally, like, my #1 rule, even for flipping, okay, is if you're not enjoying the game, like, you're doing something wrong. So, like, for example, a lot of people that get into flipping, they really get into it at first, then they burn out from flipping, and then a lot of people even leave the game afterwards. And that's my #1 thing. It's like, make sure you're enjoying what you're doing in RuneScape first. That is like the most important thing. Because the worst thing that can happen is you stop enjoying the game and you leave RuneScape, right? We need as many players as we can get, guys, okay? So you have to enjoy the game, whatever you're doing, your own personal goals, whatever it is. That is the #1 thing that I say is most important. And then 2 is obviously making some great flipping gains. I mean, come on, man. Lewintag says, to be honest, I pay members on my main only to kind of support the game I've been addicted to for so many years. Yeah, I mean, that's another factor as well, but keep in mind that buying bonds is still supporting the game because someone did pay for the bonds somewhere down the line, right? You're just the one consuming it. So you actually are supporting the game either way. You're just not the one that's actually providing the capital. Because, you consume bonds, then more bonds have to be bought for more membership, right? So there is still a supporting factor of buying bonds. It's just not, like, direct. I did an overnight on them, says Evoked. The graph looked like a bot farm did a dump for something. It dropped, like, 2k overnight. Ooh. And then, were you in on another drop? Was that the reason why you ended up losing profit on that? Oh my god, you flipped the buy limit for 16 mil, though, before? Hey, if that's the case, man, you're still green, so whatever. And you know that happens, guys. Like you're gonna have huge flips on the Grand Exchange, and you're gonna have really bad flips sometimes. That's just the way the Grand Exchange goes. We like to call it the Grand Exchange tax around here. Okay, you're gonna make a little money, you're gonna lose a little money, you're gonna pay for a big margin check you didn't expect, Armadillo chain skirts, and yeah, sometimes that's just the way it is. I mean, it's not all butterflies and rainbows on the Grand Exchange. It's a competitive thing. It's not easy to do. Well, at the highest level, maybe it's not as easy, but it's easy to get into, it's hard to master. It's kind of like that, you know what I mean? Like, easy to understand the fundamentals, hard to really make a good profit per hour. I mean, right now I'm getting crushed. Right now I'm getting literally crushed. Nothing's working out for us. It really kind of sucks, to be quite honest. I was hoping we'd have a little bit more profit here today. I was also hoping we'd get in on another Armadillo chain skirt, but that hasn't been the case. But the best thing we can do is get back to the Grand Exchange, get another flip going, and hopefully get this Twisted Bow bought and sold. I mean, this has been an awful live stream as far as profit goes. That being said, we do see some promising stuff here because we are moving some stuff like the Ancestral Robe Bottoms. The Imbued Hearts are buying, which is a great sign, and we did get a Hosta as well, but it looks like we probably got margin checked on that. Considering we didn't get another one, so maybe a little bit too competitive on that. We'll stay away from it. Would be nice to get something like oh, actually, we're going to go right back in for those Ancestral Robe Bottoms. I mean, there's really no reason not to do them again, considering how much we just made on them, and it wasn't super hard for us to do. It didn't look like we had too much competition on them as we went through that. Now, we still can do the Dragon Hunter Crossbows, which might be a good thing to do instead of this Twisted Bow. It's unfortunate we couldn't get another one bought here, but I really think we should cycle into some stuff that's just a little bit more highly traded, get some more items moved back and forth, and just try to capitalize on that instead. You know, we're lucky that we did actually make profit in the end on that Twisted Bow. Like, we actually did end up buying one, which is great. We actually can list it again if we'd like. I think it's aggressively spiking in price right now, guys. My next sell offer on this is going to be way higher. It's like 2 mil above where we're going to buy. So we'll see if we can fill another one here because, I mean, I'm already up 700K from where I listed it previously, and it's not buying. So interesting to see that. Let's see, we have Evoke says New Zealand time zone makes it slightly hard to make profit. Ideally, I need to flip now during the day, but work. Of course, you got to do work first, man. Don't forget your job. Flipping is always here, even if the profits aren't optimal. And then nighttime flips are a lot slower, so it can get burnt easily if you forget about it. 100%. And I've done that many times where I have flips listed in the Grand Exchange, and then I like go to sleep or something. Like, here's something that I do way too often. I have flips listed, and then I go eat dinner, and then I come back, and I play, like, other video games, and I forget about RuneScape, and then I go to bed without setting overnights, and, yeah, that's not a fun thing to wake up to. I actually did that last night, so... it's something I do way too often. Lake Kiesi popping in saying hi. Good to see you, Lake. Thank you for tuning in today. We also have Icy saying free-to-play gang, 23 GP margin on death runes if you buy them from Aubrey's shop. Easy 65k in 20 minutes. Absolutely. Free-to-play is not something I really hunt, so I can't say I'm too familiar. What overnights do you do? Things like Ceridome Godsword, Ancestral Pieces are really good. Imbued Hearts you could do overnight, Dragon Hunter Crossbows. I like to do highly traded PVM related items. That's like my main focus and what I try to target. STW Benny says, how's the vial of water stack going? I think we have like 24 or 25 million vials of water right now. We're a quarter way to our goal of 100 million vials. We'll get there eventually, don't worry. How much under the median price do you go for? Fairly stable stuff? I would say not that stable. I mean, my goal with overnights is to try to pick up items that fluctuate a fair bit over a 24-hour period. So, you know, things like the Dragon Hunter Crossbow or Ceridome Godsword, Grazi Rapier, Sanguesti Staff, those are things I target because I think Twisted Bow and the sides aren't really my focus. I'd rather flip my cash stack across multiple items and just kind of spread my cash out. In case one item doesn't work or one item goes badly for me, at least I have other items that might be able to you know, make up for it, right? So that's my strategy. I have a whole guide on how I do overnights on my YouTube channel, so if you want want to learn more about overnight flipping, I suggest starting there. But you can also join us on Discord if you'd like as well. We have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. You can find that in one of the panels below. And that's like the best place to communicate with me about like, hey, I have X amount of mil, like I have, 300 mil. I'm thinking about doing these items overnight. What do you think? I'm going to list it for this price. Is that too low? Is that too high? Discord is where I can really coach you through those certain kind of things. And it's always been free for coaching and stuff like that. So no need to worry about bugging me or anything. You can feel free to reach out to me personally on there, but also keep in mind that this Discord group we have with a ton of people flipping, there's pretty knowledgeable people in there. So I'd also keep that in mind as well. Now, we're going to try to do some quicker items here. Actually, I'm going to do the Armadillo Crossbow. Hopefully, it just doesn't, like, rinse my cash stack like the Armadillo Chain Skirt did. I'm hoping to avoid a situation like that for sure. We'll have to see, though. Why? What is with this stuff, man? What is with the Armadillo stuff today, dude? It's just going nuts. Regardless, that margin wasn't as big, but it's way too big for what I was expecting. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and get those listed. Hopefully buy some and try to make some money back. I mean, this has just been a tough session today, guys. An unbelievable session as far as profits go. Like, I can't believe how tough this is for us. Can we use a phase? Put me in, coach, during the tutoring. Of course, man. But yeah, I mean, like, overnights are honestly an art. It's like a little bit of an art, and it's a little bit of luck as well. Overnights are, it's not a consistent profit, but overnights are something you should set overnight. I mean, if you're an avid flipper, do not forget to set your overnights. That's really, like, here's the thing with overnights. You could spend an hour or two just flipping on the Grand Exchange, making some money. Or you can hit a good overnight session and, like, basically 2 hours of active flipping is equal to one good overnight session. So I always try to set overnights because I think it's just such easy money. Not easy money, but it's like free money, right? That's what it feels like. And it's really a tool that not a lot of players utilize in RuneScape. And I really think that players need to learn how to use the Grand Exchange to make money because it is the only moneymaker that lets you make money when you're not logged on that is actually significant. Of course, you have like Kingdom of Miscellanea and like collecting battle staves from Zaf or whatever. But it's a really good way to make money. And it scales to your cash stack. It's literally like the dream profit maker. And flipping is really what's going to like excel your bank if you take it seriously, and it's really going to take you into those billions. I mean, PVM drops are going to help you as well, of course, but anyway. I kind of want to do maybe the Grazi here. We are on the hour mark with just really tough profits as well. So interesting situation today. I guess we'll try and get some of the... What? Dude, the Grazi is 123 mil? Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? What is happening? Yo, RuneScape markets are just crashing right now, boys. I don't know what's going on, man. I mean, I'm scared of investing in anything right now. 100%. I say that, and then things are going to, like, turn around and rocket in price again. Evoke says, I'm going in debt for a pet style. Oh, I love that series of play. So in between bossing for pets, I just flip. Dude, that's awesome, man. Your bank's probably looking pretty good. Jono says, I got 700 mil cash. Is high volume the best to do? I use 2 accounts. No, I would be flipping, like, medium to high, PVM gear items. Like, Barrows is definitely good. Yeah, I would do them on both accounts to secure margins a little bit better. Armadillo God Sword, Bandos God Swords, Toxic Blowpipe, Toxic Stabs. What are some other good ones? Grimy Renar Weed is really good. Amulet Crystal is really good. Those are high volumes, but they're still good with those larger stacks. you know, 700 mil, that's a lot. Ancestral hats are pretty good. Armadillo chain skirt. This is a bad example of the chain skirts. I'll put it that way. Bandos chestplate, Bandos tassets. Those are all really great items that you can flip with that stack. And I mean, it's just crazy to see the prices on some of this stuff right now. Stuff is coming down a lot in price. Don't really know the reason for it. I mean, it could just be the fluctuating player base. I don't really know. I guess people are not playing RuneScape as much anymore, guys. Feels bad, man. I'm just speculating. I don't really know if that's the case or not. We'll try to get the Bandos tassets here as well, guys. We do have the chest plates listed. Bandos tassets super cheap in price right now as well. I do expect a big margin on these. Nope, not quite. Good enough, though. We'll list that, let it do its thing. I'm hoping we can just get some profits today, guys, and end the session a little bit higher than we currently are at, because, I mean, unbelievable session today. It started promising, and then it kind of died down pretty quick. But hey, every day is different on the Grand Exchange. That's why, I mean, I love flipping because it's an inconsistent moneymaker. I mean, every day is going to be different, and you kind of have to try to best the Grand Exchange in any way you can. Thanks. No problem, Jono, man. Hopefully that did help you out. Let's also try to get this Armadillo Crossbow off, because this is actually looking pretty promising for us. Got our flips listed and ready to rip here. No luck on any more of those ancestral robe bottoms. Kind of sucks. We can't get any luck on those Armadillo chain skirts either. So at least we made a little bit of money back from that flip, but nothing too significant. Whew. I am sweating, and we're not making a lot of GP, so that's really tough. Let me think here. We could try to flip the Grazi, but I mean, it's going to be risky. I kind of want to do it though, considering that the session's already bad enough. You know, what could make it any worse, right? That's how I feel. Wow. Mega margin. Boys, wow. If we can hit this, it's going to be big. Now, here's the thing is, the Grazi is like a borderline margin check item. The only reason I margin check the Grazi on stream most of the time is because I don't want to pull up GE Tracker and try to find and try to guess where the price might be listed. I expect the Grazi to be super volatile right now, right? So GE Tracker is not going to give us a good listing, but I'm hoping we can get a couple of these Grazis flipped because they are showing a really, really great margin. Also, this Twisted Bow would be great to get off as well. If we can sell this Twisted Bow, then I'd be very happy, of course, because we bought it for a pretty high price, a lot higher than we bought our previous ones, and just getting one would be really great. Evoke says the Scepters had a decent margin as well, like 100 to 150k. That's a lot, man. Are you serious? Why does the Scepter have that large of a margin? Guess a lot of volatility on that as well, as investors determine if they want to get invested for that update or not. We do have a video on the Scepter and why I do think it's going to go up in price that you can find on the channel if you are interested. Whew! I'm really hoping these Grazis go through because we just basically eliminated all our profits, so we'll have to see. Oh, we got one. It's a good sign. Let's see if we can sell it back. I mean, all we have to do is sell one, right, to really put us back in a profit range. So we'll see if this one does go. I sold out because it drops as evoked. I'm going to wait until it settles, then reinvest. Here's the thing, is that is fine, and that is a perfectly fine strategy, and a lot of people do that, right? You know, they get in, price goes up a lot, they're like, oh, let me sell. The problem is, if that price starts going back up and you don't have those Pharaoh Scepters, you're probably not going to buy back in. And then, you know, they could go to 4 or 5 mil and you're going to miss out on the entire run. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just that you could have made more profit by being patient. You know, that being said, I get it. An item goes up a lot in price. You want to take gains. 100% understand. Those Bandos chest plates are buying fast. Good luck. I'm actually going to cut back on them. But yes, they were buying pretty quickly. They did have a good margin, though. So it is something I want to secure, considering that we have had a little bit of trouble flipping today. Wow, we got the Grazi off as well. Okay, the margin came back to us. We got that money back. So happy to see that. You know, the only thing that I really need to get off right now to feel good about myself is this Twisted Bow. Be a really great situation if we could get one off. Just have a little bit of patience on the rest of this stuff here besides this, what is it, the Armadillo Crossbow. I want to knock the margin up on this just a little bit because, again, I imagine it's a volatile item. I want to make sure I can continue to buy it. And we'll go ahead and get a couple more of those buying up here. Evoke says, I'm going to have a 125 mil stack. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't have, if you had a 125 mil stack, I probably wouldn't have invested originally, but looks like you swing traded it, you made a little bit of money, and hey, who can complain about that, man? But I probably wouldn't even reinvest with only 125 mil, because honestly, you want to improve your active flipping skills as much as possible, or your overnight skills, and you really don't want to have a lot of GP locked up with 125 mil, because if you do, then you're probably not going to flip as much. You're going to, like, hope that investment goes your way, and it might not, so just keep that in mind. Another thing is, too, is if you have an investment that's taking a lot longer than you anticipated to go up in price, then it's going to be bad, right? Because you can't buy anything because all your cash is locked up in an item, and it's not going to be a fun time for you. Hold on, I'm going to adjust the Grazi a little bit as well, just in case we got margin checked on it. We'll just do one at a time. Try to limit our risk here. Anyway, guys, I hope you are enjoying the stream today. I know it's been a wild ride today. We had profit, we lost it, and then we have profit again. Weird situation all around. I mean, I'm confused on why so many items are looking like they're not even being traded today. You'd think it's like maybe it has something to do with Steam, but I thought, honestly, Steam would just bring a lot of new players to, not a lot of new players, but some new players to the game. And I kind of neglected the factor that it might bring old players back, right? Someone sees it on Steam, they played old school RuneScape maybe in 2013, 2015, that kind of time frame, and maybe they want to come check it out again. I have no idea, but maybe it'll bring old players back as well. It's really hard to tell. And as far as item prices go, I mean, nothing's been too great for us today, which is a shame. You know, I don't know if that's just my experience. Maybe you guys had the same experience. Maybe items were not really that great for you to flip either. But for me, I've definitely had a tough time today. Also, let's go ahead and knock this Twisted Bow down in price a little bit. The thing is, we're not being that greedy with the Twisted Bow sell offer here. And I would like to get it off at a decent price. So we'll definitely list this for a lot lower and hope we can actually sell it. Okay, at least we've got a little bit of profit coming in now, and we can get some money in before the end here. We have evoked as, or saying, excuse me, stating, I guess is the best way to say it. He says, opportunity cost at a lower cash tag is a lot more important than when you have a big stack. Yeah, it's absolutely true. I mean, like, I could deploy 200 mil into an investment and not really care about it because, to me, like, 200 mil is not that much anymore. But, you know, if I only had 300 mil, then you don't want to have 200 mil locked up. You know what I mean? I think the word, like, the phrase we're going for here is, like, the cash means a lot more when you have a smaller stack, right? So, excuse me. Anyway. Like, it goes a lot further because, you know, the more cash you have in the beginning, the more money you can make, and the better of a situation you're going to be in. You're going to make more profit per hour, and it's just going to be an overall good time. 2.1 mil today, though, guys. Looking a little bit tough profit-wise here. A couple more Grazis would be great, but I do imagine they might take a little bit of time. Realistically, other than T-bows and sights, you don't really need more than one bill to flip with. Yes, unless you're flipping on multiple accounts. I agree with you, but let's say if you had 2 accounts, 1 bill on each account would make you a fair bit of money, honestly. And we did get the Twisted Bow off. Not a big margin on that last one at all. I think I got a little bit greedy with our buy listing on that. So we will put another one in for a little bit lower here. Try to get another one going. Not sure if it's going to work out or not. But I'm only going to leave that Twisted Bow in for now. As we are coming up on the end of the stream here, we will be wrapping up shortly. And I would like to see if we could get another Twisted Bow, though, before the end. Maybe bought and sold. Maybe it'll go quickly. We'll have to see. Anyway, we have 208 mil coming in with the follow, man. Thank you so much, dude. Hopefully you are enjoying the stream. I know this stream was a little bit weird. I promise I usually do a little bit better than this profit-wise. You know, we had a lot of ups and downs today. You know, Twisted Bow was working, then it wasn't working. You know, we had a huge margin check on the Armadillo chain skirt. Luckily, we did buy and sell once. Not for the full price, but we did make up a lot of the price. Same thing with the Grazi. Huge margin on the Grazi. We bought and sold it, made up for some of the margin there. So really good on that. But definitely a funky session nonetheless. You know, you usually don't have sessions that are you know, some things work out and some things don't. Usually it's like it's good or it's bad. It's weird to see like both sides of the spectrum here. Now, we did get another crossbow, though, which has actually been working out really well for us. It wasn't working out at first, but then we readjusted the prices a little bit. And look, here we are. We flipped a couple later, and we've got about 348K on them as of right now. And really gotten a good profit on those here in the short term. And that's really nice. Happy to see that. Evoke says, when you do sell offers on the bigger items with 20 to 50K margins, do you sell under the margin check or above it and hope the other sells orders clear out? Only if I think the item price is going up will I sell it above the margin. And I only will do that with larger items like the larger margin items like the Twisted Bow or the Scythe. And that's not something I usually do. Usually I sell at or slightly underneath the margin, just because I think it's more important that you flip your full limit and take that profit than it is to try to stretch each trade, because that could take a long time and it's not guaranteed, right? So I like to take my profit right up front, do it quick, and just leave it at that. But everyone has a different preference. I mean, that's what flipping is all about. Everyone does it differently. Everyone has different strategies, different recommendations. And that's why it's so fun, because everyone attacks the Grand Exchange differently. I just share my opinions, my angles on how I do things, and what I found to work best for me. But anyway, guys, we are going to wrap it up here today with the 2.6 mil profit. Like I said, super interesting session. I mean, some worked out for us, some didn't work out for us. Twisted Bow worked, then it didn't, you know. Those big margin checks on the Grazi and the Armadillo chain skirt. Not expected, but I mean, I think we did okay considering some of the situations that we were put in, and that we didn't get a lot of Twisted Bows going off as well. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Really do appreciate it. Drop a like if you did enjoy it. Give us a follow on Twitch, whatever floats your boat. And I'll see you guys next time. Keep up with the good work. Keep up with the flips. And thanks for watching.